Okay, so this question was done quite well, but there are certain shortcuts we can use for any arithmetic sequence or any geometric sequence question. So let me show you that method now. So let's try and unpack the question. We've got 47 seats in the fourth row, that's one piece of information, and 62 seats in the ninth row. And we are told, of course, that the sequence, the number of seats in each row forms an arithmetic sequence. Okay, so that should be helpful. So here's how I'd approach it. There's a certain number of seats, 47, alright, but this is in the fourth row. And the second piece of information is 62 seats, and that's in the ninth row. Now just have a little think. From the fourth to the fifth, to the sixth, to the seventh, to the eighth, to the ninth. Can you see that was 5 jumps? Now this is arithmetic, so there's actually, right, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So those are all the numbers in between. So we're basically saying to get from this to the next number, we would be plus the d, the common difference. And so can you see actually to get from the 47 all the way to the 62, it's 47 plus 5 jumps, and each jump is worth d. 47 plus 5d equals 62. Now you're going to get there in the same way for all you lovers of formula. You could have done this, you could have said 47 equals u1 plus 3d, using the formula, the un formula. 62 equals u1 plus 8d. Then you could have tried algebraically to solve simultaneous equations maybe, or you could have tried using your system of equation solver. We'll do both things. Let's first of all solve menu, algebra, numerical solve, and I'm just going to go ahead. 47 plus 5d equals 62, comma d, boom, d is 3. If you had the simultaneous equations, you could solve that as well. Menu, algebra, solve system of linear equations. There's 2 equations. Go on, I'll go ahead and use x and y. X will be u1 and y will be d. So we have to type in the equations. 47 equals x, remember, replacing u1 with x, plus 3y. Then the second equation, 62, equals, again, x for u1 plus 8y, and then solve that. Okay, the advantage there, I suppose, is that we get u1 straight away as well, so u1 is 38 and d is 3. But either way, we definitely found d equals 3. Okay. Over on this side we'd found d equals 3, and of course u1 equals 38. Now look, we've done all that work, we haven't even answered the question yet. Look, part A, we need to find u15. Now of course if I use both of these guys here, u15 equals u1 plus n minus 1 times by d. So we can actually find that, can't we? u1 is 38 plus n, 15, so that's 15 minus 1 is 14 times d. So that's great, right? We'll just type that in a calculator, make sure we've got the right answer. 38 plus 14 times 3. 80. Right, good. But look, even if we didn't have that cheeky little a, which is always nice, let's just get it here, we could still go back and use this idea, right? Look, either this one or this one. I'm going to use the 62. 62 is the 9th row, and so for A continued, I could have done, to get to the 15th number, the number of seats in the 15th row, I could have started with 62 seats, which is the number in the 9th row. I've got 6 rows of seats. Each D is 3 here, right? So that's D is 3. That's extra 3 jumps, and then that would also give me the 80. So whichever method you prefer there. And then the final bit here is about the summation. So given there are a total of 1850 seats in the auditorium, find the number of rows. So this is quite a standard question for standard level applications. We've got to just pull out the sum S of n equals n over 2 into 2u1 plus n minus 1 d. Then just go ahead and substitute, right? It tells us that we know that there are how many seats in total? 1850. The n is what we're trying to solve for. This is where we will actually need then the u1, right? The u1, which is 38, plus brackets n minus 1 times by the d, which is 3. And I'm just not going to do anything with that. I'm just going to go straight to my calculator. I'm not going to rearrange it. I'm not going to try and solve it with algebra, because I know this is leading to a quadratic. Let's move this out of the way. Let's just get that out of the way. There's n in here, and we'll times it by an n inside. There'll be an n squared. This could be quite tricky. So I'm going to go try and n solve and see what happens. Menu, algebra, numerical solve. Now the problem is, because it's a quadratic, we think there could be 2 possible answers. So let's see what happens. Equals, put my little fraction button in above the divide. N divided by 2. And that will be times by, make sure that times in there, times by, and then open bracket again, 2 times by 38 plus open bracket, and that'll be n minus 1 close bracket times by the d. The d was 3. That looks pretty good, right? That looks pretty good. And then we'll solve this equation, comma n, and just make sure that we've got everything in the right place. Let's go ahead and do that. Boom, 25. That feels pretty good, doesn't it? 25th row, we have the 4th and the 9th row given, and we're asked to find how many seats in the 15th, and now we've got an answer that says there's 25 rows, so we'll just pop that down. So the number of rows is 25.